Okay, good morning. And today we start from where we left in the last class. That was, we had discussed the domains, and I had asked you all to refer to the categories of domains this right side of the data belongs to. I mean, activities or things belong to, right? So let me see whether you have tried analyzing it or not. What do you feel customer segmentation for targeted marketing is meant for which domain? How do I associate which domain do I associate with this particular example? Yes, come on. Customer segmentation for targeted marketing. Anyone? You may use the chat window also if you don't want to speak. No problem. Okay, woman says it is NLP. Anyone else? Bhuvan, can you just give me a short one-liner as your reasoning that why do you think it is NLP? Because the moment I talk about targeted marketing, I'm really focusing on how the users are actually shopping, right?
Ma'am, is it machine learning?
Machine learning is happening in every area. Okay, what am I really focusing upon are the three domains:
Okay.
NLP, vision, and data science. So I'm trying to tell you that what exactly, which domain exactly is pertaining to this particular activity.
Ma'am, I think it can be NLP or data science also.
Okay, I completely agree. It could be NLP or data science, but can you give me a situation where you find NLP is applicable? How NLP is applicable?
Ma'am, in for example YouTube searches, when we even make a typo, it
Hmm.
understands that even shows what we meant to say
Okay.
and shows the search results for that instead of the one with the typo.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So, as per this reasoning, if Bhuman, you also gave the same, has the same reasoning in mind. I agree it is NLP. But other than that, rectifying the typo is one category. What he is doing it, he is doing it for other situations also. But here mainly it is basically focusing on the entire customer purchases or the way the customer is browsing the data. Okay, in various websites. Based on that, I'm doing a targeted marketing, isn't it? The kind of browsing he is doing throughout the internet. Based on that, I'm doing. So it's more likely what data science. Okay, fine. You all agree? Show me a thumbs up. At least let me feel that yes, you are there. I want to see your thumbs up. Okay. Others also. Okay. Fine. Great. Now, next one. Text summarization for news articles. Text summarization for news articles.
NLP, ma'am.
NLP. Right? Because it is text summary. So it is understanding the language in which the data is written. News articles ka
Yes, ma'am.
data, it is reading, it is understanding, and based on that, creating the summary. Nowadays, even if you open a document in the PDF viewer, it gives you a particular statement saying that this is a huge PDF. You want to see the summary or not? So this
Hmm.
way is going to read the whole text for you and create the summary. So it belongs to NLP. Excellent. Automated subtitles for videos.
Ma'am, that's also NLP.
That's also NLP. Right. Excellent. You all agree to it, I believe? Divich, Padma, Rinchen, Sishang, Ahana, Shaurya. You all agree that the third one, subtitles, is also definitely NLP because language related. Correct? Okay. Medical image diagnosis,
Computer vision.
computer vision. And again, everywhere your data science also comes into play. You cannot really segregate your learning of data science too, right? But major focus, whenever it is image analysis, image diagnosis based on any kind of pictures related to that. So obviously it is CV. Okay. So what I want to say is that data science आप लिख सकते हो as an answer. Fine, it's not wrong. But main focus, if you forget, जहाँ पे it's text summarization for news articles, main focus is NLP. Medical image diagnosis also main focus is, oh, sorry, medical image diagnosis, the main focus is CV. Okay, so that you must mention. Even if you forget to write data science, okay, no problem. Main focus has to be written of the domain, right? Stock prediction.
Stock prediction will be, ma'am, data science.
Yes, that is exclusively data science. Correct, woman. So it is basically that predicting the prices of the stock. It is completely based on analyzing the past references, data, how things have been working, how the graph has been working out. Accordingly, the stocks are being predicted. Even the weather forecasting is done on those bases only. Though in majority of the times it is coming out to be false nowadays. Orange alert in Delhi means absolute sunlight. है ना? So things are becoming little problematic with Delhi when it comes to weather. Otherwise, generally these predictions are correct. Generally, until unless you see a collapse of global market for stocks, it really affects. Otherwise, it works. Okay. So I believe the domains are clear,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So let's move on further because we have the other things also to be done. Okay. So go through the domains part. Later too, if you have any doubts, you can ask me, no problem. Okay. Now, the next part is something which I always talk about in the first session. I think I must have done that last time also in April, May when we had it. But basically, we are trying to talk here, discuss about the fact that what is an AI and what is not an AI. Anything I see happening on its own nowadays, I will not call it an AI. I may feel it is an artificially intelligence working behind it, but technically it is not. Right? So some of
Yes.
the things where you can actually think about it, where you can actually analyze. Okay? So some examples work out here. But before that, let me kind of revise and re-revise what I've been talking about, that how do you identify what exactly is AI? Because automation has been working, computerized setups has been working for a very long time now in the in every sector of the society, but then they are all not AI. Okay. So when I add an AI component to a automated tool, there's a difference. Okay. So when you are given a question that, okay, whether it is an AI or not, you have to judge and say true, false. What you have to look as a characteristic feature in that particular situation is that whether that particular thing is making predictions, decisions, and based on the data being fed. Okay. That is something which is important. Right? So that is my criteria of judgment, you can say, whether it is able to take care of those things or not. So let's see certain examples where we are talking about the fact that they are not AI. Fine. I see some very, very strange names of my students. Samsung and Xiaomi. I hope they are the valid people coming in. Hmm? Any idea about your friends talking about this? I mean, who can they be? Okay, let's see. Fine. So we are here with these examples. You can see the traditional rule-based systems. Any system which is following a set rule, which is taking care of uh, particular set of instructions, like, okay, if this is there, then this is there. If this is there, if a condition is followed, then I'm going to talk about this particular thing. Simple if-else statements use karke, if that system you think is working, then I will call it a rule-based system. It is not using AI at all, until and unless the system is learning and trying to perform better next time. If it's following the same rules every time till now, it is not an AI. Okay. Simple automation tools like calculators or timers, they are also automation tools. They have nothing to do with artificial intelligence.
Ma'am, they also follow set rules without learning from the data.
Yes, definitely. Then these mechanical devices, which are basically based on your physics, again, nothing to do with AI. We see a lot of devices nowadays at our homes, like microwave ovens or ACs, or they have some kind of a smartness involved. Even our, you know, heating pads, these kind of things, they do have some kind of a automation system involved. Pre set menus are there when you talk about the microwaves, but they are really not learning anymore. They are preset, pre-programmed. Everything is like that. Okay. So nothing to do with AI. Then you have the non-interactive systems like basic electric fans and all. Of course, they are nowhere near to the AI systems. They may be based on your sensors. Like I'm saying, a fan, when we talk about the automated smart homes nowadays, the smart home devices may like LED lights, which are glowing, giving you different lights, or if I talk about that, I am entering a room and the fan starts. When I leave the room, the fan stops automatically, the light closes automatically. They're all sensor based. They are not really using any kind of intelligence. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this we had discussed earlier also. And that is what I'm focusing upon here. Moving further down, the next part is still talking about the same thing, that a fully automatic washing machine or an air conditioner, they are all sensor based, and they come under the category of Internet of Things, as we call it. I might be able to switch on, switch off my air conditioner from my phone. Okay, based on an app.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So these things do happen and we feel, oh, it's something special. So it is definitely AI. It is not definitely, I mean, this is nothing to do with AI because it's again not learning anything. It's all sensor based. It's all different technologies are being utilized here, but does not count as a AI. Okay. This I did start in the beginning. I got this particular PPT once. I could use my home PC. I didn't update it, I think, on the drive. This is a very, very interesting concept. I always say that how do you differentiate again from a normal program? Programs have been written since 20, 30, 40 years now. But how do you differentiate it from a machine learning code? Okay, it's a very, very beautiful difference what the CBSE manual explains, that for a conventional programming approach, I give an input, I give a program, that is my set of instructions, and he gives me the output. Like for example, I want to convert the Celsius temperature to Fahrenheit temperature. So Celsius temperature is my input. I have already given him, I've fed the formula in. He applies that formula and gives the Fahrenheit output. Automation definitely, but not learning. No learning is involved. Machine is not learning like anything in this. I've given him the formula himself, or myself. So nothing of that sort happening. Then I discussed about the machine learning approach. In machine learning approach, the interesting fact is that I do not give him the algorithm or the program. He creates it himself. But then he needs some input. So what do I give him? I give him the set of input that ये कुछ inputs आएंगे और ये कुछ उसके outputs होंगे. Now you think and devise the algorithm जो कि इस तरह के inputs पे काम करेगा. Right? So
Yes,
This
ma'am.
is what is the machine learning approach. He has learned to convert himself. I have not given him the conversion formula. He has devised it himself. Okay. So this was something which I took last class, and first topic which I discussed was this, because it's again very, very important to differentiate between automation, conventional approach of programming to the machine learning approach. Then comes this very, very significant diagram. Many of you might be aware of it, but this is something we have to dive in detail. Again, very, very overlapping concept, but significant. Okay. The three aspects which we talk about, and I add on one more here, though the diagram doesn't talk about it. One is AI, one is machine learning, one is deep learning, and the other is neural networks. Okay, neural networks actually comes within the deep learning
Deep
part.
learning, yes.
Yes, excellent. Right. It comes out particular there itself. Okay. So here you see the circles are one within the other. So there could be a situation where I'm talking about a AI system, but it is not doing machine learning. अभी तक मैं आपको जो examples दे रही थी, I was again and again saying that my judgment criteria is whether the machine is learning anything out of it or not. Right? To judge whether it's an AI or not. But now I'm going to talk about an example or a situation where I'm saying that it is AI, but it is not doing machine learning. Okay, it is doing machine learning, but it is not deep learning. Okay, so there are layers in this. Fine. So we need to have that fine line understanding that where exactly the overlap is happening, how the overlap is happening. Nowadays, overlap is there. Very difficult to differentiate between AI and machine learning. But when the concepts came up initially, we could differentiate. So the examples also take you real to certain older days where you can differentiate. Okay, let's do that. Now, okay, giving you a basic understanding. So we from this diagram, we understand that what? AI is like a huge big term, big umbrella. ठीक है जिसमें बहुत सारी चीजें हैं everything, whether it's a deep learning, whether it's a neural networks, whether it's machine learning, everything is an AI. ठीक है but certain things are machine learning, which is not AI. Certain things are deep learning और neural networks use कर रहे हैं वो लोग. Specifically हमारा brain का setup use कर रहे हैं वो. Brain neurons को interpret कर रहे हैं वो. And that is how they are part of deep learning situations, which may not be your being done in machine learning or anywhere else. Okay. So that is why this circle has to be drawn like this. You cannot make them independent circles. You cannot make them any other manner. It has to be like this. Now let's understand certain situations where you can understand the gap. Okay. I'm giving an example where I'm saying that it is AI, but neither involved machine learning, not involved deep learning. Okay. I have put a disclaimer here. Modern AI, which we see nowadays, is pretty intertwined with machine learning and deep learning. वो differentiate करना मुश्किल है. But we can look at some older examples, specific types of AI, which rely on learning from data. ठीक है, some older examples. So one example is of expert systems. Now, what are expert systems actually? These are AI programs that emulate the decision-making ability of a human expert. Okay, decision making. That simple decision making would be of a fact that if there's a doctor sitting and he's analyzing a patient, nowadays we see the doctors without even touching you, without even measuring your temperature, without even measuring your BP, without even checking your pulse and your heart rate or something, they first give you a list of tests. Based on those results, they are taking decisions. So actually, we don't call them experts because वो lab report में लिखा होता है कि क्या problem है. I can also study and understand and know what is my situation, right? So earlier you could see the doctors used to be really, really aware of the symptoms. They could touch your feel the pulse and tell you that this is the problem. Very experienced doctors are there, old doctors are there who are very good at it. They don't rely on these reports actually nowadays. Right? So I'm talking about those kind of situations, expert systems where. So they are built using knowledge base, which is a collection of facts and rules about a specific domain, explicitly programmed by human expert and an inference engine, जो कि उसमें से कुछ conclusions निकालता जाता है from the rules you've given him. Okay, as such, we call them rule-based systems only. They are based on rules, but they are able to draw some inferences. So it's like not conventional, very, very conventional rule-based systems, something better than that, but not touching the level of machine learning or AI or deep learning. Okay, so somewhere in the middle. Why it's AI but not ML or DL? AI exhibits intelligent behavior by solving problems that typically require your reasoning and expertise. Fine. That is the basic definition of AI. So इसीलिए हम इसको बोल रहे हैं it is able to solve a problem which requires lot of human expertise. कहाँ से मिला उसको? डेटा से मिला जो हमने उसको दिया, उसने उसमें से इन्फेरेंसेस निकाले, उसमें से रीजनिंग निकाला ढूंढ के, and then he took a decision. Right? Why not machine learning? But because he is not really improvising, much improvising. He's not finding out patterns. He's not doing a lot of statistical analysis. बहुत ज़्यादा he is not working on that category. So we are saying that it is not machine learning. And of course, not deep learning because it's not using neural networks at all. It is not using the way my brain works in layers and different layers. And hence it is not deep learning at all. अभी deep learning अगर समझ में नहीं आता, you've not done the terms, don't worry. Machine learning is a simple term. Machine is learning the way a child learns and passes every class from nursery to class 12th, then goes for graduation, learns there also, then goes for post graduation, learns there also. So machine also learns from time to time. A class 2 के बच्चे का knowledge and learning, whatever he has done till his class 2 level, obviously will be much lesser than a postgraduate. Correct? Why? Because the number of years of experience and data he has. Right? So that is what comes under your machine learning. Correct? So that is how I am differentiating. Machine learning is easy to understand. Deep learning में थोड़ा सा मुश्किल होता है. So if you do not understand deep learning as of now, it's okay. Just understand it is something more in terms of learning. Machine learning से भी 2 level ऊपर है in terms of learning, in terms of execution. Okay? But उसमें क्या क्या factors होते हैं, what all you have in that, if you don't understand, that's okay. Am I able to clear the thing to some extent that there could be certain things which is AI, but not machine learning or not deep learning? But nowadays, what I've told here also, the line says very, very specifically, modern AI devices or programs or setups, they do have intervening of machine learning and deep learning. They might not be doing it 100% or 200%. They might be doing it 10%, 15%, 20%. To some extent, things are happening because they are improvising also. है ना? हर डिवाइस और या एआई डिवाइस अपने आप को विथ टाइम्स इम्प्रूव भी कर रहा है. करेक्ट? So that is why these things are intervened nowadays. But earlier it was not. There's one simple, very specific example of a expert system by the name MYCIN. If you see the year, you'll see, ma'am, kahan leke ja rahe ho? You know, a decade, I mean, so many decades ago. But that's how I'm saying. I'm just trying to give you an example. It was used to diagnose bacterial infections and recommend antibiotics. What was the knowledge base? It contains hundreds of rules like if the stain of the organism is gram positive and the morphology of the organism is coccus and the growth conformation of the organism is changed, then there is a suggestive evidence that the identity of the organism is streptococcus. That was a kind of a knowledge given to my system. An inference engine would do what? When presented with patient symptoms and lab results, Mycin would use its rules to deduce a diagnosis and a treatment plan. So it is actually uh, using a huge knowledge base. बहुत कुछ देख रहा है, बहुत rules देख रहा है. ठीक है? So it is doing inferences, it is doing predictive analysis, diagnostic analysis, ये सब कर रहा है वो. Right? But not to the level of what we are expecting in a machine learning or a deep learning setup. Right? So this is a typical example which you can study further about it, where you will find that you can differentiate basically, which are what I'm talking about, right? So the conclusion is that expert systems are rule-based AI. Rule-based AI means I tell him, if this is the condition, then do this. If this is the condition, then do this. That's a rule-based AI. Their intelligence comes from carefully crafted rules and facts provided by humans, not from patterns discovered in data by algorithms. वहां पे the focus was more of on what human could provide to the machine, not from the learning pattern of my algorithms themselves. Okay, that was a differentiating factor. While less common in new AI applications today, they were a significant part of early AI development and perfectly illustrate AI without machine learning. Okay, so this will give you an idea about that diagram basically. वो diagram क्या बोलना चाह रहा है, क्या exactly आपको बताना चाह रहा है. That is what we understand by this. Fine. Okay. Learning-based approaches or machine learning में to go further on, I'll just stop this recording here. And then I will start again with a fresh one so that I get a proper 30-35 minutes to cover up the machine learning types. They are very, very significant,
Okay,
very,
ma'am.
very important to be done. So I'm closing now and you join up again.